up, dudes and viewers? My name is Kiss, and welcome back to KTV Network. Today I'm reacting to European Gaming Industry Lobby Responded by Asmongold TV. So let's see what he has to say. I think I had some small input last time, didn't really have much to say, but let's see if I disagree or agree with him.
The video games, commission group, a lobbying group for Video Games Europe has made a statement about stop killing games. That's right. We appreciate the passion of our community. However, the decision to discontinue online services is multifaceted, never taken lightly, and must be an option for companies when an online experience is no longer commercially viable.
Okay, so make it offline. Like, transfer that online multiplayer experience to offline. I don't understand. Can't you still make cash out of that? I don't know much about the business side of this, so but you know, I'm just like, huh? Wouldn't you make more cash still if more revenue still if you were to make it online? Perhaps, maybe add some microtransactions every now and again, but don't make it a major part of the game.
We understand that it can be disappointing for players, but when it does happen, the industry ensures players are given fair notice of the prospective changes in compliance with the local consumer protection laws. Well, so it's about that last sentence that we really need to talk about, though, right? So you're complying with the local consumer protection laws. Well, we've got a few new ones for you to comply to. How about that? How about we just have a couple more of those, and you're going to comply with those as well. And also, you're gonna follow. You're gonna jump. Yeah, bro. Like if we say jump, the government says jump. You say how high. You don't make the rules.
Oh,
the people.
Oh! I said this in my last video. I did say this. They want you to bend the knee.
Make the rules, and as soon as the people realize that, stuff like this immediately evaporates.
Yeah.
That's it. It's about fucking time, yes. And we'll win, yes. Do not ever, ever, ever think that you can't overpower these parasites. You easily can. The only reason why we don't is because people are stupid. That's the reason why. It won't change unless people stop buying it. Of course it will. Of course it will. You just make it against the law. Problem solved. That's it. You just change a regulation. If anyone doubts how powerful the EU initiative can be, Video Games Europe, an industry lobbying group, has unsurprisingly come out against Stop Killing Games. The arguments against killing, allowing you to keep your purchase are flimsy. I'll have a video on it in a day or two. Yep, and so will everybody else. The thing is that these lobbying groups are really important, but what matters even more than lobbying groups is votes. Because different people that take money and are influenced...
We're at 1.3 million votes. I think we're higher than that now.
...by these lobbying groups, if enough people complain about it, you can make it go away. People are complacent? Yeah, these people like money, but they care more about power. And so, yeah, they know how effective it's going to be. That's not the full statement. There's more. Really? All right, so this is the full statement that they made. Video Games Europe said in their statement, "We appreciate the passion of our community. The decision to discontinue online services is multifaceted, never taken lightly, and must be an option for companies when an online service is no longer commercially viable." Well, that's not even what people are asking for. People are not asking for you to provide online services forever. People are asking for you to allow other people to provide online services in absence of you providing them yourself. Nobody says that you have to run the server forever. They're twisting it again. It's included in the petition. It's an alternative or some sort of other solution. That's not the only way of doing it. They watch Pirate Soccer's video. Read the next paragraph. We understand it can be disappointing for players, but when that does happen, the industry ensures that players are given fair notice of the prospective changes in compliance with local consumer protection laws. Well, we're going to change the laws, and so that's it. and hopefully at least, right? That's the goal. Private servers are not always a viable option for players, as the protections we put in place to secure players' data, remove illegal content, and combat unsafe community content would not exist and would have rights holders liable. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Absolutely not. You don't have to regulate the entire internet. You don't have to do that. It's not your stuff. It's not your issue.
Yeah, once the customer buys it, it's theirs. They can do what they like with it offline. Hello?
If somebody else takes your content and they turn it into something else, you're not legally liable for that. And also, if you are, then maybe we should solve that problem too. So let me get this straight. Because of one stupid rule, we have to have another stupid rule. Hey, I've got a solution. Why don't we stop making stupid rules? Like, how about that? How about we stop creating this apparatus of retardation that everybody has to fucking play gymnastics around because a bunch of lawyers want to make money? It's ridiculous. What a ridiculous idea. And in addition, many titles are designed from the ground up to be
not gymnastics of retardation.
Online only. In effect, these proposals would curtail developer choice by making these video games prohibitively expensive to create. No, it's just that you have to provide an option for players to be able to play peer-to-peer. There is no reason why players can't play peer-to-peer. And also, your ability to maintain and control your intellectual property, in my opinion, does not supersede an individual's ability to have ownership over what they've paid for. And this is the big problem, is that these people view intellectual property as the pinnacle of value. No, consumer rights, consumer protections, and ownership is the pinnacle of value, and intellectual property is underneath that. You can state it as rent? Yeah, that's totally different. They could just make it possible for other people to emulate it? Yeah, that's not the way it works. Yeah, you can have plenty of DRMs, far more expensive with no DRM. You just set it, move the goalposts, so multiplayer is either peer-to-peer or service. Yep, exactly. And let's go back. I can see and find this here. And where's the rest of it? We welcome the opportunity to discuss our position with policymakers and those that have led the European Citizens Initiative in the coming months. Video Game Europe's case is it can be too expensive for developers and publishers to offer private servers or single-player modes. It's not that it's too expensive, it's that it makes them have to give up a certain degree of their intellectual property. That's the reason, is that they think that their intellectual property is more important than our rights as consumers. It's really simple. And I disagree with that. And if enough people disagree with that, we take it away from them, and then they have to jump the same distance that we say we do. So don't ever give these people an inch. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about any of this stuff. They don't care about the integrity of the games. They don't care about the legality of this. They don't care about anything other than...
I'd say they showed us, and starting in 2016, that they don't give a fuck about you. So...
maintaining a complete stranglehold over this, and doing so through the ability of them to exercise their connections and money and resources inside of the government. Never give a fucking inch. And so no, absolutely not. Yes, if we can get enough people together, we can make them do what we want. That's right. It's that simple. Not even about the game? Yep. Let's make them do what we want. And if they want to cry and complain about it, go ahead, stop making the games. But you won't stop making the games because that's the way you make money. And you'll easily fit, and you will easily acclimate to this, just like you acclimate to everything else, because you're a business, and every business has to meet the market demands at the point that they want. Cybersecurity argument? Yeah, oh yeah. Let's go ahead and let's hear the cybersecurity argument from Sony. Oh no, wait a minute. Sony says that, wait, oh no, if somebody else is running it, your stuff might get hacked. Oh my God, imagine if that happened. That would be horrible. Never give an inch and make video. See, I'm going to read your comments real quick. Make it a law and games will be $120. Fine, then they'll go out of business. If you can't make a product at a cost that meets the initiative and the demand of a consumer, then you go out of business. That's what happens.
What?
We set the price. They don't set the price. Now, they try to sell it for that much, but that doesn't mean that we have to buy it for that much. How many
Right.
times have you been spamming? What about licensing with third parties? You'd have to give me a more specific example. Yeah, you'd really have to give me a more specific example about that. And
Is
also,
messaging
by
pretty
the
often
way, this
spamming?
is
I
my
mean,
general opinion
it's
about
not the
intellectual copyright.
It's not it's not the same comments. I would consider the same comments over and over to be spam. He seems like he's reasonable somewhat.
Right? I
Yeah,
think it's
seems
way
like he's
too
reasonable.
overreaching and it's way too strong and it's overpowered and it needs a rebalancing. It's way too overpowered in favor of companies and individual users
I get nervous every time he pulls this comment section up because you just never know if he's gonna block them or not.
and people that own, media need to have more rights in general.
I don't know why I get nervous. It's not
So
my chat,
I don't
but
really
at the
give
same
a
time,
fuck
I'm like,
about third-party
secondhand
licenses and
cringe.
oh my god, somebody's using my character or something like that. Then don't put it in the game. Back-end services typically have tons of third-party products that you use for licensing fees. Too bad. Why would I care about that as a consumer? Nothing about that justifies
is my
taking
problem.
away the product that I paid for as a consumer.
Right.
Your business licensing
That's their problem. That's their issue to figure out.
problems have nothing to do with my rights as a consumer.
Right.
That's not my problem. Your problem is licensing, not mine. The rules are retarded? Yeah. You didn't pay for it? Need to read what you pay for? Well, I mean, then we redefine what paying for something means. You really went soft on Pirate Software? His arguments are very similar to the article that you read. Well, I've already addressed that. I already talked about all of the arguments, I already said it in general. And also, the reason why I went soft on Pirate Software is because Pirate Software has no power or influence, but this company and this initiative and lobbying group does. Why do I don't feel threatened by a YouTuber, but I would feel threatened by a lobbying group. What are you, fucking retarded? Of course. So I totally support this. Obviously, when Ross comes out with a video on it, we will just keep pushing this. And then also, here's another really big problem, is that this is an issue for all forms of media, and as soon as this can be addressed and people can understand it, then I think it's going to help a lot. Sarah, thanks for the 20 subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Why weren't licenses an issue in the past when single-player games were offline? Because they created this problem. That's the reason why. They created this problem in order to justify doing things that were unfriendly to consumers.
Right.
That's the reason why. They invented the problem, and now they say, well, we've created this issue,
You
and
have to fix
now
it.
you have to exist inside of the confines of these issues.
Again, no.
No, it's an artificial problem. Never accept the premises of somebody that's acting disingenuous.
Love that. Love that. That was awesome. I agree. But, let me know what you think about this video down in the comments below. Let me know what other gaming videos you want me. Wait.
Oh, you're
Okay. I thought I recorded this whole thing without the game audio, and I'm like, what? No, but let me know what other gaming videos you want me to react to. Anything in the gaming sphere, any kind of media. I'm expanding here. So, like, subscribe if you vibe, become beat today, and I will see you guys on live streams eventually. I don't know, man. I had to downgrade. Well, not downgrade. I had to move my multi-streaming services from Restream to another service provider that's cheaper, and it still does the same amount of bit rates, because it's like, What the heck am I paying $20 for when I'm only streaming once a month? I'd rather put down $3 and multi-stream to many channels. You know? I gotta get to it more often though. But yeah. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you guys later.